Okay, ready to dive into Mad Genius?
Let's do it.
Looks like you're ready to unlock some serious innovation from your notes.
Definitely.
Break free from the mold and conquer the future of business.
Sounds about right.
Randy Gage's book is packed with that kind of fuel, right?
It really is.
So we're about to extract the most surprising stories,
Okay.
powerful arguments from Mad Genius.
All right.
Really get those entrepreneurial gears turning.
Yeah. You know, what always strikes me about Gage is how he tackles this herd mentality trap.
Right.
He doesn't let even millionaire entrepreneurs off the hook. Like, he kicks off the book with this story about a retreat in Moria.
Okay.
Picture paradise, right?
Yeah.
These entrepreneurs paid top dollar to brainstorm with him, right?
Okay.
But they all got stuck in the weeds,
Boring.
obsessing over tactics instead of focusing on the big picture.
It's so easy to fall into that trap.
Oh, it is.
We get obsessed with the how-to.
Right.
Completely lose sight of the why behind it all.
The why. Exactly. And Gage uses this hilarious example
Okay.
from beer advertising to show just how common and costly that mistake can be.
I'm ready to hear this. What is it?
He points out how even with massive budgets, huge marketing campaigns fall flat because they focus on gimmicks.
Huh.
Things like color-changing cans
Oh, yeah?
or fancy packaging,
Right.
instead of a strong core concept that actually resonates with people.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's about the core concept, not the gimmick.
Right.
It's like that light bulb moment Gage describes when he talks about a physical therapist setting up shop in a gym.
Okay.
Forget fancy ads.
Okay.
This therapist just put up a simple whiteboard that said, "Tell me what hurts."
I love that.
And boom, more business than those big companies with their flashy campaigns.
So smart.
It just goes to show the power of a clear, direct message.
Right.
That speaks to a customer's actual needs.
Yeah, totally.
And this leads us to a really interesting comparison Gage makes. He sees the entrepreneur as an artist.
Okay, now this is where things get exciting.
It is really interesting.
Tell me more.
He says both entrepreneurs and artists face the same struggles.
Okay.
Rejection,
Yep.
self-doubt,
You got it.
the pressure to birth something new into the world.
Totally.
Writers wrestling with words, sculptors chipping away at stone, composers searching for that perfect melody.
Yes.
It's a roller coaster of emotions.
For sure. It is.
And just like artists, entrepreneurs need that ability to see beyond what's in front of them,
Yes.
to envision what doesn't exist yet.
Oh, I like that.
Remember how ridiculous the idea of Amazon seemed at first?
Totally.
Now look at it. A global powerhouse.
It's true.
And that's where that chocolate analogy really hits home.
Right.
How do you describe the taste of something brand new to a world
Yeah.
that's never even imagined it?
You can.
It's like trying to explain the internet to someone back in the 1950s.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Gage doesn't sugarcoat the challenges. He's very clear. True breakthroughs come at a price.
Right.
You have to be willing to take risks
Right.
to face the possibility of epic failure.
Yeah. As he puts it, even those epic failures are a sign you're playing the game at a whole new level.
Exactly.
It's not about avoiding failure, but about having the audacity to operate at a level where those failures become badges of honor.
Exactly. That's such a powerful mindset shift.
It is.
Instead of fearing failure, you embrace it as a necessary stepping stone on the path to innovation.
Yeah, I like that.
Which leads us perfectly into the next part of the book,
Okay.
where Gage unveils his secret system
Ooh.
and really dives into the importance of critical thinking.
I'm ready.
This is where things get really interesting. It's fascinating how Gage challenges us to question everything we think we know.
Oh, yeah.
He argues that blindly accepting the usual way of doing things can actually stifle innovation.
Right.
He really pushes us to ask ourselves, what if those accepted practices are just an excuse
Okay. Yeah.
to avoid real critical thinking?
Right.
Like, are we just going through the motions here?
Right.
And he tells these really funny stories to illustrate his point.
Okay.
There's one about this marketing conference he spoke at. Total disaster. Imagine this. The event is just a few months away,
Yeah.
and none of the speakers or sessions are finalized. Talk about a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, how is that even possible?
Right. And then there's the story about this chaotic British Airways flight he was on.
Okay.
And he talks about how the airline's rigid systems actually created this domino effect of delays and inconveniences for passengers.
But I've been there.
He compares blindly following these flawed systems to trusting someone who insists the sky is red.
Okay.
It's just common sense, but we often miss it.
You're right. Right.
And he has this great term. He calls these deeply ingrained beliefs that cloud our judgment, he calls them mind viruses.
Mind viruses. I like that.
Yeah, these are the assumptions we pick up early on. And then we subconsciously seek out information that confirms them.
Right.
Even if they're holding us back.
Wow. It's true. It's like we're looking for evidence to support what we already believe, even if it's not true.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's about recognizing those unconscious biases.
Yeah.
Gage challenges us to ask ourselves, like, what truths have I accepted without questioning their origin?
That's a good question to ask.
Right.
Eddie.
Because it's so easy to just go along with what we've always been told.
Right.
But that's not how breakthroughs happen.
Exactly.
He's especially critical of what he calls corporate think.
Okay.
This herd mentality that leads to mediocrity. It's
Right.
like everyone's so afraid to rock the boat
Right.
that they just blindly accept the status quo,
Right.
even when it's clearly not working.
Right. And it's funny how often that happens, right?
Right.
All the time.
Like, why didn't we think of this before?
Right. And that's what makes his exploration of the future so compelling.
He dives into this rapidly changing world of technology and business,
Right.
highlighting all the exciting opportunities
Yeah.
and challenges that lie ahead.
Yeah.
He really drives home the point that the future is now.
Yes.
It's happening right now.
It's not some far off thing. It's like happening as we speak.
Digital wallets replacing credit cards,
Yeah.
3D printing revolutionizing manufacturing,
Crazy.
virtual reality changing the way we experience entertainment.
Yeah. That's wild.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. It is.
And he throws out this crazy statistic.
Okay, hit me.
At the time he wrote the book, YouTube had 4 billion video views every single day.
Wow.
Can you even imagine what that number is now?
It's got to be way more than 4 billion.
Right.
It's got to be like a gazillion by now, I'm sure.
But it really underscores just how quickly technology is evolving.
Right.
To thrive in this landscape, we need to be adaptable,
Right.
innovative,
Yeah.
and always ready to learn and adjust.
You got it.
And with the rise of big data, Gage predicts a major power shift.
Okay. How so?
He sees these third-party apps giving consumers more transparency
Yeah.
and control over their data,
Right.
which can be a game changer.
For sure. Yeah, it's huge.
So the key for entrepreneurs is to view this transparency not as a threat,
Okay, yeah.
but as an opportunity
Right.
to build businesses that are truly centered around value and customer trust.
Love it.
It's a whole new way of thinking.
Totally. It's not just about making a quick buck anymore. It's about building something sustainable and ethical.
And he's not shy about sharing his thoughts on social media either.
Okay, let's hear it.
Forget motivational quotes
Okay.
and empty platitudes.
Right.
Gage argues that the real power of social media lies in listening to your audience
Okay.
and understanding their needs and desires.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's not about you. It's about them.
He actually says that posting inspirational quotes is not a recipe for social media success.
I kind of love that.
It's true.
I mean, we've all seen those accounts.
Right.
Just like reposting the same old tired quotes.
It's not very effective.
It's like, come on, give me something real.
Of course, no exploration of the future would be complete without addressing artificial intelligence.
True.
Gage tackles this head-on,
Okay.
discussing everything from self-driving cars to the potential for AI to surpass human intelligence altogether.
Yeah, that's the big one, right?
Right. It's both exciting and a little unsettling.
It is. It is. I mean, where do we fit in if machines can do everything we can do, but better?
And those questions lead us right into Gage's advice on how to cultivate our own mad genius.
Okay, I like that.
How to turn all this knowledge and insight into actionable steps for entrepreneurial success.
One of the things that really resonated with me is Gage's emphasis on failing forward.
It's such an important concept.
He doesn't just acknowledge failure. He, embraces it as a crucial part of the journey.
Absolutely.
He even quotes someone saying, the entrepreneur who doesn't make mistakes doesn't make anything.
So true.
It's a good reminder that setbacks are inevitable, but they don't have to define us.
Right.
The key is to learn from them and keep moving forward.
Exactly. And, he also challenges the traditional approaches to marketing and branding.
Okay, how so?
Gage is all about those bold, attention-grabbing tactics that cut through the noise.
Oh, I like that.
He's not afraid to be provocative.
Give me some examples.
He shares some pretty wild examples from his own career, like using headlines that are kind of out there,
Okay.
Headlines that you can't help but read, even if they make you raise an eyebrow or two.
Okay. I need to hear about these headlines.
Oh, he even mailed out adult diapers to promote one of his seminars.
He did not.
He did.
Wow, that's commitment.
No, that's memorable marketing.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say people definitely remember that.
They did.
So it sounds like Gage is all about thinking outside the box, not just in terms of marketing, but in all aspects of business.
Absolutely. He also provides some really practical techniques for unlocking creativity.
Okay, I like it. Give us the goods.
Things like mind mapping, which a lot of people are familiar
It's
with.
a classic for a reason.
And then there's the scamper technique, which is a really cool brainstorming tool.
I haven't heard of that one. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, definitely. And then he talks about using analogies,
Okay.
to see the connections between seemingly unrelated ideas.
I like that.
Like he talks about how he once adapted a marketing concept he heard on the radio for a hair salon ad.
Wow, so it's really about keeping your eyes open for inspiration wherever you can find it.
Exactly. You never know where that next great idea is going to come from.
That's so true. And, what I appreciate is that Gage doesn't stop at business advice. He also talks about living a life of mad genius,
That's a great way to put it.
which I think is something we can all aspire to, right?
Absolutely.
It's about bringing that creativity and innovation to everything we do.
And a big part of that is staying curious.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do we cultivate that mad genius mindset?
Well, Gage stresses the importance of always asking why,
Okay.
questioning everything, and never stop learning.
I love that.
It's about challenging our assumptions and being open to new perspectives.
It's so easy to get stuck in our own ways of thinking.
It is, but Gage encourages us to dig deeper,
Okay.
to try and understand the why behind different viewpoints, even if we don't agree with them.
That's huge.
And, to spark that creativity, Gage suggests actively seeking out diverse experiences.
Oh, I like that.
It's about shaking things up, breaking free from our routines,
Okay.
exposing ourselves to new ideas and people.
It's like they say, variety is the spice of life.
Exactly. He gives some fun, practical tips, like having dinner with people from different backgrounds,
Oh, I love that.
taking a class in a subject you know nothing about,
Yes.
or even just wearing your watch on the opposite wrist for a day.
It's amazing how such small shifts can really open our minds to new possibilities.
Absolutely. And of course, he emphasizes the importance of surrounding ourselves with a supportive network of like-minded people.
Yes, finding those people who get you, who challenge you to be better.
Exactly. Finding mentors, building a community, those are essential for any mad genius.
Couldn't agree more. Well, as we wrap up this deep dive into Mad Genius, I think the message is crystal clear. The future belongs to those who embrace change, challenge the status quo, and dare to unleash their own unique brand of genius.
It's about finding that mad genius within ourselves and having the courage to share it with the world.
What's your big idea? That's the question we should all be asking ourselves.
It's a challenge, absolutely, but it's also incredibly exciting.
So to everyone listening, go out there, embrace your inner mad genius, and see what amazing things you can create.
We can't wait to see what you come up with.